shit.
Wrinkly ass shirt. Where?
Are you kidding me?
Where?
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Mind Composition Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Brian Blair. This is my friend Grace. We got an interesting topic today.
Yeah.
We're difference in creative artists. So for those of you who don't know, I am a professional portrait photographer in the Northern California area. And you?
I am, the way I describe it is I took everything that I love about art and monetized it. So I am an actual artist in which I paint with acrylic and draw with charcoal and et cetera, et cetera. I do graphic design for social media and for brands, so logos, anything you can, art digitally, and then I make fashion. I paint clothes. I take thrifted items, paint really dope shit on it, and sell that. I monetize all my favorite art pieces.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we both have like really cool ways in finding a way to make money with what we do. Like
Exactly.
a lot of people. I mean, okay. So what? All right. What else do you do besides like? Okay, so you mainly do social media.
Yeah.
And you mainly do graphic design.
Yeah.
What else specifically do you do?
Creatively.
Creatively, artistically.
So yeah, since we're on the topic of creative like avenues, I do. So what I physically do. So yeah, social media, my main thing, graphic design, and then painting, creating physical art. So yeah, like painting on canvas, painting on clothes, painting on paper.
Remember that your T-shirt idea where you're painting, or you're designing something on the T-shirt, right? Or on the clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Or the one where you're taking designs off of like thrift clothing.
Exactly.
And then you're reselling it and making your own like clothing business. So
I go to thrift stores, which is my favorite place to shop. And then I take anything, any good denim, any good hoodie, anything that I could paint on.
Yeah.
Paint a design on it. Make it pretty much streetwear. That's what I do. And like create it, sell it, make people love it. Make money. I make fucking money off of art.
Which is honestly like, we're extremely fortunate and extremely lucky because not a lot of people really do what they love and actually can make a living off of it.
Yeah.
Like, at least for me, like I'm living completely off of what I do, completely off of photography, being a creative director, doing videography, social media. You're the same way, living off mostly or completely off of what you do.
Yeah.
Not many people do that. They have like some job that they hate. They don't want to work, just to pay the bills. And then they have the spare time to go pursue what they really want, which is, like it's sad.
It's the LA population.
And it's LA population. It's the world population. It's the 90%. It's the 90%. All right. They just they just go and they live, a life that they don't want to live. And sometimes it's not their fault. And they just, they have this side thing that they just don't want to, either put on enough energy in to find a way to monetize it, because there's a market out there for everything. Yeah. Everything. Basket weaving, you name it. You can find a way to make money with anything. And there should be no excuse for, someone to be like, oh, well, I just haven't found a way to make money with it yet. Yeah, you have. You have the internet at your fingertips. People make millions from their phones. They don't even own computers. They just make an online business, and guess what? They're just living fancy free.
Yeah, you can make money off of anything.
Like with me, not a lot of people know, all the other ways that I make money with photography. So a lot of people immediately assume like, okay, I make money with the bookings and the portraits. Yeah. Yes, that is true. People book me, they pay me, I shoot for them. That's your clean transaction like that. But there's a lot of other ways that photographers make money. And one of them is through social media, so Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, that kind of stuff. You can monetize and, make money off of your video. Not much, but enough to just bring in some extra.
Yeah.
The other major one that I've made almost as, a lot of money off of compared to like my actual bookings and projects is passive income through content I've already shot. Now there are stock sites for videos, photos, landscapes, that kind of stuff, where you can post your work on it. Now, I know a few people are doing that right now in like the, I think it's NFT or something like that. It's on like the crypto market. I'm not too familiar with that, but there are ways you could post your work on stock sites. People will search your work or search up relating to that work, like, oh, I want beach photography, I want beach videos or Golden Gate Bridge videos, and they'll see it and they'll be like, oh, here's the video clip, $120, and they'll buy it, right? The site will take like a certain percentage, and then you'll get the profit of that. Do that times 10, you know, you've made like what, $1,000 right there. So those are other ways that you can make, you know, as a photographer, you know, money off of your work that you've already shot. And that counts as passive income because you are not continuously having to do something to maintain that work. You've already shot it. You're not shooting new stuff. I mean, you can and put it on there, but like your old work is still making money on itself. The other way is courses. I'm actually helping a gal do this next month. She's going to be doing some fitness training courses. And she has her own fitness business, and you know, she's kind of like a fitness coach and yoga coach, that kind of stuff. But you know, we're going to be recording some of her like 2 to 3 minute long tutorials, about 30 of them, you know, a bunch of these videos that she can now sell on her site, and she sells in package for probably like $600. Do the math, $600, you get 100 people to buy that, that's 60 grand right there. Like, and that's pre-recorded stuff that you don't have to keep doing. Like, so we really have the advantage as far as artists, and making money and really finding ways to monetize it and making a decent amount too. Not like chump change. I mean, like, you know, some creators make 6-7 figures. Like, I'm just above like 6. You're probably nearing 6 relatively soon. Like, you know, so it's like a good way to really, you know, just find something to do what you love and then find a way to really monetize it. So that's what we share similarly as far as like, you know, making money with what we love. But how about you like doing it? Like, I know the workload for both of us gets really intense sometimes. So, and you probably have it a lot more than I do at some time.
I don't know. I don't know. And editing is not easy.
Hours. But managing social media, like, ugh.
Not easy either. My roommate's actually a photographer, and one of my roommates is always saying that, like,
she's
editing
cool.
is so easy. And I'm like, no, don't say that. That's like, that is like the that's an insult.
It's like
it's an insult to a photographer. I'm surprisingly know a lot of photographers, but
they think we're magicians, so we snap our fingers and poof, a photo gets edited right
there. That's similar to like physical artists, because that's what people think. Like, you know, if I make a custom, if someone wants a custom hoodie for me and they want me to paint a really cool thing on it, they expect me to snap my fingers and it to be completely done.
No.
And I'm like, no, not at all. No, there is so much work to go into. Like, I'm going to do painting physically. Like, first you have to make sure you have to know what colors complement each other. The color wheel is like the number one thing that I suggest every artist learns. Regardless of the art that you are creating, maybe not music, but anything that has to do with color or like visual.
You need to know
visual art. You need to know the color wheel. At least to a certain extent, or have like some sort of easy access to the color wheel in case you forget.
Can I share a secret?
Yeah.
I don't know the real color wheel.
I don't have it memorized.
I've seen it. I've seen it before. I've looked at it. I've poked at it, but I don't really have anything like. All I know is like certain complementary colors, like blue and orange, green and red.
You know the basics.
Purple. The basics of it.
Good
like,
basics.
I shoot what looks good.
Like, exactly. And you know, like now people are experimenting with different, you know, color composition and color complementary.
You can do so much now, especially pastel colors are in right now. Pastel is like, look at the new iPhones. Like all of them are coming out with these light, elegant pastel colors. Look at the iMacs, for God's sakes. I mean, they're beautiful. I love them. Like, I mean, I don't know how you feel about them, but like they're a lot better than just boring silver. Like I was looking at the red one the other day. I was like, red, it matches my phone, it matches like my vibe. Like I love the color red. Like,
you do. I know that.
Color is the most important thing when it comes to visuals. And
that's the thing we have in common too.
It's like we really gotta have a good eye out for color. How's your vision? Can you see color pretty well? You colorblind?
No, I'm not colorblind. My vision is shit. That's a whole other story. Vision. But being colorblind, I'm not colorblind. How
many fingers am I holding up? 3? 4. Okay, cool.
There's
a colorblind photographer.
So I can't see the screen right there. I know what's going on because I'm physically here. But if I were to just like watch a video this far away, I would not know what was going on.
You couldn't tell.
Could not tell you. If I didn't know the camera name, I wouldn't know what the camera name said. At all. Can't see it. Cannot see it. Can't see it.
I mean, I can read the fine print in the lens.
No, I cannot. No, God, no. That just looks like a line of white.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, but no, I'm not colorblind. But I think it would be really cool to be a colorblind artist. That would be really
there's
dope.
there's a photographer on Instagram. He's in like the East Bay area. I don't know him personally, but I've seen his work before. And he is a colorblind photographer. And if you look, at his work, and it's phenomenal. It's gorgeous, right? It's very abstract. Okay, it's very abstract. It's not your average portraits at all that you would see. Like, sometimes you'll see water being purple. You'll see different elements in the photo being what color they shouldn't be. Yeah. Skin color being more towards green, but like more very just dark, moody stuff.
Yeah.
It's different is the thing. And that's because he's a colorblind artist. And that is so underappreciated in the art industry, is like some of the struggles you have to face and push through that some people may not even know, just to get something out there as a piece of art.
Like the work that it takes to paint something. Like, I am just starting to brainstorm. Just even brainstorm in my mind. I haven't even put it in my notes yet. I'm hoping I'm finding a way to do one of my biggest pieces I've ever done. Yeah. Which, granted, I haven't done very big physical pieces. I've done really, really big, like, to scale, technically. I've done really big, like, virtual digital pieces. But this one, I really, like, I want to do a big piece. I want to get a big piece of canvas and just paint on it.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work, because the thing about art is that it's, up to the viewer.
Yeah.
It's not, I can have it mean one thing and they can see
it's interpreted a 1,000 different things.
Completely interpreted. But the one thing that will always stay true is that if you fuck up the proportions, nobody will like that. Unless that's purposeful. Unless they actually it's a touch and go. If you fuck up proportions, it's a touch and go basis. Like,
what do you mean by proportions?
That means, like, if you were to, like, you needed to do some editing on a photo.
Yeah.
If something were to go askew and, like, mess up.
And awry,
and, like, someone caught it and be like, oh, her torso isn't proportionate to her head, that could either make or break that photo. For me, if I were to do a face, if those proportions were messed up and they were not intentional, and someone didn't like that, that could make or break an art piece, whether or not it gets sold or not.
Actually, yes, that's true.
Proportion.
Unless you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, unless you're doing it on purpose.
One photographer I know that can get away with doing misproportions, and he's recently done it. And we're gonna shout him out. His Instagram name is Mastermind Photo. He lives in the Chicago area, and my God. Okay, I know, right? This guy is a master at his photographs are the most perfect skin editing, the most perfect lighting. It looks so surreal. You could reach out and touch it. But recently, I've seen some of his work being these very skewed, and they're probably taken on a very wide angle lens, also in conjunction with maybe some Photoshop work. But it's very skewed. Like, for example, he had a girl in a red dress and in daylight, and her legs, she was like sitting in a position like this, right? Just like, and he was at the end of her foot, like shooting up, and her legs it looked so stretched out and so long.
Yeah.
But the overall photo comp and the coloring was on point, and I was like, this is like, and it's getting good engagement. I loved it. I saved it. I was like, this is amazing, right? Stuff like that.
You can like, feel when the disproportionate is purposeful.
You know when it's purposeful, and you know when it's not.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just a matter of like, when you just see the overall layout of the photo, how it's done, who's doing it, and then their past work before. So like, people like Mastermind Photo know what they're doing when they purposely, break and bend the rules of photography or art, because really art is subjective. It's not, there are no rules in creativity. And that's why it kind of infuriates me how people think they go to school to learn photography. Yeah, you can learn the basics of photography, but you can never teach creativity. You can never teach someone to be creative.
Don't go to, I would never do that.
I never took a course in my life. I taught myself. You taught yourself.
I taught myself. Well, yeah. It was not so humbly. It's in my DNA. my entire dad's side.
My dad's side too. My dad was a music
Yeah, we're
producer and a
artists.
photographer.
Yeah.
And my dad worked with Dan Aykroyd. He shot the photos for the movie The Wedding. You know, he produced Saturday Night Live. My dad shot the first landing of the space shuttle back in I forgot what year it was. It's framed downstairs. Like literally,
That's
I'll
cool.
show it to you.
Yeah,
it's awesome. On 35mm film, right? So, you know, that's it's also genetic as well, where you have the artistic eye. My mom's grandpa had his own art gallery in Sausalito.
Oh, I dream of that. That is a dream of mine.
And he would paint like these, you know, very subtle art pieces. Actually, I don't think I have any hanging in here. Wait a minute. That's Larry Horowitz. That's a different artist. But
that's good though. I like that.
You know, he would paint stuff for the Golden Gate Bridge, and it would just be like, you know, he was more surreal artist too.
That's what I should have gotten you for your birthday.
What?
I should have got you a painting. I should have made you a painting.
So what's actually so funny is my friend Jesse's painting a picture of my car.
Oh my god, you're obsessed with your car.
I'm not obsessed. Okay, maybe I am.
He's not in the sense.
Maybe
okay,
a
so
little bit.
Yeah, there is a difference. I feel like there's a difference with dudes with their car. It's either the dude that poses in front of their car with their hands in front of them, like that, like douchey look. Or
I hate
the guys that just
I hate that. They just like, they have the drip, they got their chains, and they're just sitting on the hood. They're like, yeah, what's good? God's good.
A 2009
like, or some
really
whack quote. They're like, life is good. And I'm like, yeah, what?
Started from the bottom, now we're here, or something like that.
Start from the bottom. Yeah, you and your Honda Civic, bro, and your $20 gold chain from Ross. Like, what the hell is you? Like,
exactly.
So, but let me
you are not. He's not that person. You're not that person. You're not like that kind of obsessed with your car. I'm not that
type of, you know, ferret that walks this planet. But the point is the point is my friend Jesse's painting a picture of my car that I took in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. And that, okay, so first of all, when I sent it to her, or actually I found out that she paints cars. Like she actually she's a painter, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was jokingly saying paint a picture of my car, and I sent her the photo. She actually started drawing and painting the goddamn photo. And I was like, what the hell? She's like, yeah, I'm just going to paint it and I'm just going to send it to you and just give it to you. I'm like, don't you dare. I'm going to pay you for it. You name the price and I'm going to double it.
That's
She said like $75 or $100. I'm like, great, I'm sending you $200 or $300 because I know the work that goes into creating something like that. And I'm not just going to not pay you or not understand how much blood, sweat, and tears goes into creating a piece of art. No matter what type of artist you are. Regardless if it's graphic or photography.
If anybody wanted to know why paintings cost like 20 grand sometimes, is because that person spent months, if not years, trying to complete that painting.
Look at Leroy Neiman. Leroy Neiman is my dad's an art dealer. He sells millions of dollars of art for a living. That's how he makes money. And so I kind of have art engraved into my head about, you know, how to really understand and appreciate what art is. And Leroy Neiman was one of the greatest surrealist artists that ever lived. And if you ever looked at his artwork, it's phenomenal. It's all multicolor, but it's all composed into like, you know, this one generic main image, like the Portrait of the Lion, Frank Sinatra, the Resting Tiger, that kind of stuff like that. And, you know, I've seen videos of people painting with their mouths. They're crippled. They can't use their hands. They maybe, you know, have either come back from war and they're an artist and they've lost their, you know, limbs or something like that. Or they wanted to draw, or they just can't because they just can't. They're born with a defect. I've actually seen gamers do that.
Yeah.
People sitting in front of, literally playing video games with their mouth. They're blowing and using their teeth to control the game.
Yeah.
And that is so like undermined now in today's society. They do not know how to appreciate the struggles that an artist, no matter what you are, face. And I feel like it's the differences that we have as artists that really bring us together. The people that aren't fortunate enough to have, or like not that aren't fortunate, wrong choice of words. The people that are unfortunately without basic tools as humans to really create art. And I'm talking about just like, you know, if they're born with a defect or if they're crippled, people that suffer from mental illness. Usually the people that are most creative suffer from the most mental illness. Like, hello, like master overthinker over here, master OCD, ADHD, or actually I don't have too much ADHD, but it's mainly OCD for me. And like, you know, we've all
the
have
whole
our
textbook.
Yeah, the whole textbook.
The whole fucking textbook in my brain.
Yeah, so like, you know, I've actually come to, because I've heard that from so many people before about the artists, you know, suffer a lot of mental illness, but I really didn't really understand that until recently.
Because your art is your therapy. Your art is the way you express your emotion.
That is who you are.
Exactly. Some like songwriters, like the reason why, like I know I've recently like encountered a lot of songwriters, and they have like
Yeah.
maybe thousands and thousands of unreleased music just because that's the way they express emotion.
Yeah.
That sometimes they physically cannot talk.
The
like,
vault files,
you know, I
basically.
can't. Yeah,
The
I
vault
can't. Like,
files.
I have hundreds of art, like pieces of art that are actually in my storage unit here, but I can't ship them. I can't get them to LA, unfortunately, right now. But that are just because I needed to decompress. I found a charcoal drawing, quite literally. I just took a giant piece of charcoal I had, swirled it around the paper, and then I don't remember what it was like. And then I drew a white charcoal drawing over that of an expression because I was feeling extremely chaotic that day. I remember when remember when I made that.
Yeah.
And it's just the way you express your emotion.
I remember when I went through so much like hurt with my, because me and my dad like had, we weren't now we're great, but me and my dad weren't the best relationship wise, and there'd be so many times I'd be going through hurt from that I would just literally go express it in a photograph, or recent breakups where I'd just be like so furious but at the same time so weak. I literally had my friend Monique stand in an alleyway, and she would crouch down or she would stand up, and I would shoot that photo and just have it all dark around her and just kind of have like that lonely feeling, like that kind of just like you're crumbling down inside, right?
Exactly.
It's be the way that I would literally, just put out my feelings in the art, and you have to do that. Like, I was also playing piano when I was younger too, so like that would be a way for me to kind of just, release emotion out that way. Like, there's just so many different ways that artists can really just express themselves and like share that with the world. And like in the artist community, like there's so many different types of artists from different backgrounds with different challenges, that when you meet someone that has gone through so much, or someone who does great work and they're not a fake, and they've actually, put in the hours to actually really become a true artist, not just someone who thinks that they're an artist. It's that difference that really just like kind of you just immediately connect with that person, just like that. Immediately. So I mean, that's just that's my take on it, honestly.
And honestly, on like it takes so much work it takes so much work. It just takes so much work. Effort.
It does. Yeah.
Effort, especially because there is a difference between when I am just drawing or painting for the hell of it. Like, I'm bored, I have nothing else to do, or I get a spark of creativity and I need to put it on a canvas because I have this image and I don't want it to go away.
Yeah.
Or I'm creating a custom piece and, I need to get their image out on a deadline.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. There's a difference. And that takes a little bit more time because you have to plan it, you have to draw it, you have to,
you have to get everything
figure it out and make it look the way they expect it to look, or the way you want it to look if you're going to just sell a piece of art.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's all a work in progress, and a lot of people don't understand why art is so expensive. They don't understand why the artists charge so much. A lot of people ask me specifically, they probably have asked you this before too.
Oh yeah.
Why do you charge so much for your photos?
Yeah.
Like, some of my sessions are like $400 or $500.
I had a guy back out because my rates were so high because he wanted he wanted a custom piece, and it was a huge piece, and I was like, all right, I don't have the canvas on me, I have to buy that. I might actually have to make that canvas. That's another thing specifically with my field of art. If you want a huge piece, tip to anybody watching this, if you want a big piece of art and you want it to be painted like from scratch, they might have to build the canvas. Physically build the canvas. Take the pieces of wood behind it, take the canvas.
Like physically
nail it,
canvas.
staple it, start from bare scratch.
Gosh.
So expect that to be fucking high.
Yeah.
That takes time because it's our time. Yes, we love what we do, and I would do it for free every day. But
that's not life.
But that's not how it works. Things cost money, and I want to be able to do what I want to do and love, and I want to love what I do. And it costs money. It costs money to do that. I have to pay rent somehow. So, I'm not going to spend 6 months on a painting and say, okay, I'm going to charge you $500.
The number one question that people ask me is literally, why do you charge so much for your photos?
Yeah.
And like, my only response is this, like, you're not paying for the time. You're not paying for the time it takes to do the project. You're paying for the years that it took, the years that it took
to develop
the skills to do that in the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, oh wait, why am I paying you $500 for an only like an hour session photo shoot, or why am I paying you $2,500 for a wedding that's only 4 hours? I'm like,
Because you could
because you
take
know
those
how
photos
much
yourself.
work went into learning that process,
Yeah.
to understanding how like time consuming that is on the back end. You see the iceberg, you see the tip of the iceberg, you see 10% of it, you see the finished product, you see, you know, maybe some other stuff around it, but you
And
never see, you never see the actual work that went into creating it, the hours and sleepless nights for post-production, the time management, the product coordination of
the
everything.
2 a.m. wake-ups when you have the idea.
Yeah, literally. Oh my God.
Like, I need to write this down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, literally.
So many times.
It's crazy. And like, you know, and all the dedication and motivation to really keep pushing you through learning all this, the learning curves too, the software, what you pay for. Like you literally have to pay for software to keep your business running.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff that I
90%
free.
of what people think, like I'm not taking my money that I earn from people paying me to do my work and like buy my art. I'm not taking that to just go on a vacation. I'm probably taking 10% of that to save up for a vacation. The rest of it is most likely going into new paint that I have to buy, new brushes because they got messed up, canvases,
new lenses,
new
cameras,
programs,
cameras break,
paying my monthly bill on my Photoshop and Adobe features.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's like $60 a month right there.
Yeah, like you have like not most of that paycheck is going back into my business to create it.
To keep the domains alive. Like
Exactly.
literally there's $60 for Adobe. There's like 100 total for like keeping the websites going.
Yeah.
The gear alone is thousands of dollars. Like I mean, and probably for like at least for lenses, like literally the setup that this is being recorded on right now is the camera body's $2,000, the lens is $2,500, the microphones are like what, probably $100 for the set. Like, you know, that's not cheap at all. The laptops to do it is like a couple grand there. Like that adds up a lot. You got to maintain that, and you got to make sure that you're keeping up with the highest quality possible to make sure that you're reaching the top tier. Same thing with painting and with drawing. Like you got to have the best paints, the best acrylics, the best brushes, the best canvases. All right.
Yeah.
And then painting is a whole different ball game than shooting, because shooting digital, you could just snap away, you know, and just look for the best angles. Painting actually takes time. You really can't rush either one of them, but you especially can't rush a painting because you're painting. You're literally drawing from hand. Unless you're a robot or 3D printing that shit, you cannot rush that and have someone up your ass being like, hey, I need this by tomorrow. You're going to wait. I've had so many clients call me and be like, yeah, I need these photos by tonight or by tomorrow. I'll be like, you're going to get them when you get them. Okay. Because that's how long it takes to do this. It does not happen like that.
If anybody asks me why my rates are so high and why I'm asking for so much, is because I say this to them. I'm like, because you could paint that painting yourself. Go for it if you want to. I am not stopping you. I cannot control what you do. But it will not turn out as well as mine would. I can guarantee that. Because I have spent pretty much since I was able to use my hands and paint by myself and comprehend color or anything, I've been painting.
Yep.
My dad pretty much put a pencil, a paintbrush in my hand since I could hold it.
Yep.
So I've spent years developing my skills. So you can either paint that yourself, take that photo yourself. You can shoot your own wedding for all I care, but it will not turn out as well as if you paid me that amount of money, because I've spent those years perfecting my skills.
Exactly. And in a nutshell, that's literally it. And
that is it.
That's it. You can't argue with that whatsoever. You know,
that's fact. I'm sorry. You can think that's an opinion, but that's a fact.
That's straight facts.
Just a
like
fact.
When you actually like, and no one will really understand that unless you are in the arts itself and actually, you know, understanding the time and effort that goes into.
Yeah, it also takes effort. Like even social media is effort.
Oh God! Don't even get me started on that. Like
that could be a whole other episode.
I can't even keep an Instagram account going. Literally, it's just oh God. But yeah, no, social media enough to market that is like
influencers. That's a lot of work too. Oh. Give credit to influencers. Everybody kind of like people that work solely on social media. You know, do their own graphics, maybe even shoot their own photos, whatever. That takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of time.
A lot
because you also like because if you want to really work your shit on Instagram, you got to know your shit on Instagram.
Yeah, you
have
got
to
to know the
know.
algorithm. You got to study the marketing and everything
And
like
the algorithms are fucked. But
and
that's a whole.
the good news
Yeah.
is like in the mind composition, I'll actually be having episodes where I'll be showing different ways on how to manage an Instagram, grow an account, all at the same time manage your content for an account. Because I know a lot of people that follow me and her need help in that era. Both of us do, but hey, with the best way to learn.
Okay, speak for yourself.
Okay, well,
I work on social media. My whole job is to manage social media, so speak for yourself.
Okay, Mr.
Right, if you need help on social media, I got you. You're gonna have to pay me, but I got you.
I mean, yeah,
I know.
Okay, everyone has their expertise.
Exactly.
Hit her up for social media help. Hit me up for photography help, editing help, all of the above. But yeah, I mean, anything else that you really wanted to cover in this? I mean,
I think that's
pretty much it. Like you understand, like,
give more credit to us.
Give more support your local artists.
Support your local artists.
Yeah.
Don't buy from like big ass companies.
And understand that every artist is different. There's never one of the same.
Yeah.
There's always going to be someone that is going to be slightly different than you. Even if it could be in the exact same niche, there's always going to have a slight difference.
Yeah.
But the difference is what brings this whole community together.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of it. And that's
what I think keeps the art industry unsaturated.
Yeah. 100%.
Is because there is a slight difference in everything.
I mean, there's so many people that try to do it. There's so many people that pick it up. Like, so many people pick up the camera for the wrong reasons. There's two things I was told. There's photographers, and then there's men with cameras. And specifically for men that pick up a camera, men have one goal. Some men do, not all. They want to pick up a camera to go shoot with girls. For what? To get with them, to try and, do that kind of stuff. That's a wrong reason to pick up a camera. I've known so many people that are like, oh, you are around so many beautiful ladies and shoot with them all the time. I want to become a photographer just like you so I can hang around them. And I'll just hang up the phone and be like, I'm not helping you with this. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, you pick up the camera because you love art, not because you want to get clout, get, a certain status symbol or get around girls or vice versa or that kind of stuff. Like, you got to understand that. And like, those types of people really just, they try to saturate it. They try to, they try it and they fail and they fall flat on their ass. And I laugh all day long because it just doesn't go anywhere for them. And they think they're doing things right. I'll see so many people like, artists I used to work with, he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to hire someone else to shoot my music video because his rates were cheaper. Right. Like, and I was like, all right, let's see how this comes out. This guy like that shoots the video. It's like he's been shooting for like 6 months. He wasn't even taking it seriously. My friend knew him, and the video turned out like absolute crap. Like, not gonna like kind of go off on an ego here, but like I feel like I could have shot it better on my iPhone. And my friend said like, yeah, this guy picked up a camera just to like get in with the cool music rappers and try and get with them. I'm like, how? Like, I don't understand like why he wouldn't even just take it seriously and do it for the real reasons instead of just trying to hang out with the rappers like on SoundCloud. That's
where our industries differ, honestly. That's because photographers spend a lot of time around people.
Yeah.
Me, as physically an artist, I am communicating with a lot of people.
But you're not always around them.
I'm not always around them. Like, I don't always need someone to pose for me. Also, due to the internet, I can just Google the figure I need and just take it from there. But, I'm not around people. If anybody wants to get into an art, it also depends on how social you want to be, too. It, like, really depends because...
I hate social.
Yet you're a photographer and you're around all people.
I'm kidding.
You're good at networking, which is really important.
Networking's important.
You're good at talking to people, whether or not you want to connect with them is a whole different story. But, you can keep a conversation going in a photography, like in a session.
I'll talk with someone. Yeah. I'm not saying that I'll be your friend or I'll continue talking to you. You'll probably piss me off more than anything, but I'm just kidding.
Photography, you're around people all day. You're communicating with people all day in person. Yeah. My ideal situation is for me literally just to have a behind the screen someone calling me, texting me about a piece I do, and I just sit in my little studio, smoke a joint. I always gotta have a joint. That's the way. That's a whole vibe.
Gotta have the joint in there.
Gotta have a joint in that. Yeah. Music and just paint. Or maybe my iPad and I Procreate and I draw.
Like paradise to me because you're by yourself creating art. You don't have influences of other people. Like I love shooting with people. I do love people. I really do. And I like interacting with most. But what I've noticed is sometimes if it's somebody that I'm not too fond of, I'm noticing that their energy starts to collide with mine.
Yeah.
And it starts to throw me off my game. So you creating what you're doing or doing you basically by yourself, you don't really have that interference. You can just go and be. Yeah. The only time that I can really create or, take photos is if I go out and do landscapes or do drone work alone.
Yeah.
That's it. Or shoot video alone, which is great. And I do that, now a lot more often because I have so much more time on my hands. And even though it appears that I may not have a lot of time, I really do. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot now. At least now,
any time.
8 months ago, no. 8 months ago,
2 years ago, hell no.
Maybe 2 years ago, absolutely not.
No,
but
God,
I found a way to manage the time.
Do you know how hard it was to try to get to hang out with you when we first met?
Dude, still people try to hang out with me.
It's easier to hang out with you now.
Yeah. Because I'm not working that much right now. Like I'm literally
you were going to school.
I'm making more money working
photography
less.
And coding. You were working at that place.
Fuck coding. Yeah. Fuck school.
You were working a lot. You were doing a lot, and you're still doing a lot, but you're doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm doing a lot at a higher caliber, but less quantity. So exactly. I'm working less.
Quality over quantity.
A little bit less, and I'm not burning myself out, which is good. I haven't burnt out since like a while ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's times where it does get hectic for a few days, but that's about it. Most of the time, I'm literally shooting like 4 hours out of the day, 4 or 5 hours out of the day.
Yeah.
And then I'd come home and I'd just be doing most of my work is really behind that computer screen on the post-production. And even that's still flexible because my caliber of projects are higher. The income's coming in more. I don't have to take on so many projects to pay the bills. I can I can cruise for a while. Like I can not book a shoot for all of the month of August, September, October, and I'd still be probably chilling.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be good.
Yeah. That's another thing why you need to support your small, like your artists, the local artists that you have, is because like it's better. First of all,
it's more relatable. For you to actually connect with an artist one-on-one instead of these, famous. Like nothing against famous people, but like, what are you doing? Like, you don't even know them personally, and you're just like
you're most likely connecting with their assistant. No, I'm talking to you full on face to face. I might even FaceTime you if I really vibe with you, but like and talk to you over that and like have that business meeting. But also, it's the fact that like this is our source of income.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and this is our source of income. And, it's what we do and what we love, but it is how we keep the lights on. It's how I pay my rent.
Yeah.
So if you stop supporting us, I stop making you art. And I'm not going to make art for free. Like,
I'll make art for myself, but it'll be for myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Like the only person I would make art for free is my entire family, my immediate family, and you and one other person. But even you would want to pay me.
Yeah, because I just like I don't care.
Because you know how it feels. I would offer that. I'd be like, just send you a piece. I'll just send you an art.
I feel so guilty when somebody tells me not to pay them for something, or or somebody like, because I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Like with that girl Jessie who's painting my car, when she literally said you don't have to send me anything, I'm like, I can't do that. Like I'm gonna send you like double what you
and vice versa with
me. Like I know the work that goes into that. She said hour 14 or 15 last time we talked. Like and that's 14, 15 hours may not seem like a long time, but it really is. 14 to 15 hours seems like days when you're putting in a lot of effort into this. So like it's just you gotta support and understand like the precision, really what's going on underneath and behind the scenes. And these series will be good at really exploiting what really goes on. I'll be doing some of these videos where I have like kind of a go throughout my day type of thing. Like here's when I wake up, here's when I go shoot, here's when I come home, and here's when I edit till, and then you'll see exactly what goes on in a typical day in a full-time creative artist. Same thing with you. I might even have you do that too, because I'm actually curious to see what your days look like besides smoking weed and sitting at home alone. So I'm kidding.
If I sit home alone, I'm listening to music and making art. That's all I do.
I mean, yeah, there you go.
Quite literally. Or I'm behind the screen making art.
Yeah. At one point or another, we're always doing something creative, and without it, we literally die.
Yeah.
If we don't do something creative, we literally I feel like I'm dying. You feel like you're dying. Like I don't even know what to do.
I lose my energy.
Yeah, I go crazy.
It's actually scientifically proven that if you don't do something, like I did, so 2 days ago, this will give an example. 2 days ago, I basically sat in an office room for 4 hours.
Jeez.
4 or 5 hours doing absolutely nothing, and then I got sent home. I was on my phone, just watching TikToks.
God.
I didn't have the internet, so I couldn't take my computer and, put and make art and do my work. I also didn't, that wasn't an environment I could do that. So I literally sat on my phone for 4 hours and did nothing. And I was dead tired.
Yeah.
I wanted to just go to sleep at 6 o'clock. I was ready to go home, go to sleep, and never wake up until the next morning.
God.
But when I do art, and granted, I am smoking a lot of weed when I'm doing this. So, I'm kind of tired and slow. But you know what?
Just a little slow over there.
The greatest art I make, the craziest people, the weirdest people, the stoners are the coolest artists. I stand by that. If you have some mental health issue, or if you are some sort of crazy of some kind, not serial killer crazy, I don't think that far, but
I hope not.
Not that far. No, not that far. But the crazy where you're creative, crazy comes out and you're creative. It's always the coolest people. All my friends are a little crazy.
I've noticed that. Yeah, no, I look at some of the photography community and you see so many diverse, people in that community, and it's just I don't know, it's awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
It really is.
They're the coolest people. Artists are the coolest people. Musicians, photographers,
we got
painters,
so many different
designers.
Everything. It's we're multi-dimensional. We don't really have sides as we're not just one-sided.
No. Oh God, no.
For us.
No.
It's funny. I love it.
I love it. I love creating art. I could not do that.
So many differences in between yourself and within other artists. You just literally collide together.
Exactly.
Probably that's why you and me are really good friends, is because we're polar opposite at literally everything.
Everything else
except
art.
Except art, but
and
it just
business.
keeps a great friendship going. Even within the art, industry, we still are not polar opposites, but we still have a lot of differences that still keep us interesting and okay, well, what exactly do you do?
Yeah.
How does it really work for you?
Yeah.
Versus for me or something like that, which is great.
Exactly.
So, I think it's phenomenal. As far as working together with other artists. All of my friends are artists except for a couple, to be honest with you. And even then, even then, some of the people that aren't artists, they have good sides to them, but you find the good and the beauty in everybody. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap this one down. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Episodes release every Friday and every Tuesday. So yeah, thank you again for tuning in. I will see you guys on the next episode.